it's going to be Steve and Scott, the Armstrong brothers. They're going to be taking on two-time former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Samu and Fatu, the Headshrinkers. This match taking place December of 1995 in Pace, Florida. Gonna be a great contest as the Armstrongs electrifying this crowd. And there you see the Headshrinkers, Samu and Fatu. Two great tag teams getting set to square off against one another. There you see Samu. And there's Fatu. Referee Carl Roach explaining the rules to all four combatants. There you see Steve and Scott, the Armstrong brothers. Brad was also on the card that evening, taking on the original Junkyard Dog, Norvell Austin. You'll see that match next week on our next edition of Independent Wrestling Classics, along with other great matches. Great crowd here in Pace that evening, as it looks like it's going to be Samu starting off against Scott Armstrong, as we're going to try to get this match underway. Lock up, collar and elbow. Shove off by Samu there. The Samoans, of course, are going to have the weight and power advantage. Scott and Steve might want to stick to the speed game, as Samu once again threw Scott to the canvas with a mighty shove. Talking things over with his partner Fatu there. An arm drag and a drop kick. Another arm drag. Another drop kick. And over the top rope goes Samu. Scott Armstrong opening up now, as Fatu rounding the ring over there to check on Samu. Carl Roach attempting to put the count on Samu. Scott Armstrong breaking the count. Roach telling him to get in the neutral corner, as Samu slides back into the ring under the bottom rope. Looked like he was claiming a hair pull there. I didn't see anything of the kind. Once again reiterating Samu, slapping the chest of Scott Armstrong in a return there. Looks like they're going to go to fisticuffs. Referee Carl Roach reminding both combatants that that's against the rules. This is wrestling, not boxing. The matches this evening filmed with a handheld camcorder. We apologize for the shaky camera work. Fatu securely staying in the corner there. And a handshake? Fatu recently wrestling singles competition in the World Wrestling Federation. Wrist lock reversed. A tag, and in comes Steve Armstrong for the first time in this match. Working on the arm now are the Armstrongs. Tugging at that elbow joint, makes the tag once again. Fast tags by the Armstrong brothers. They wind the arms both ways, and a chop across the chest sends Fatu to the canvas. A cover now by Scott, but the referee not in position. Look at the power of Fatu. now calling for the test of strength. I don't think that'd be a good idea for Scott to get involved in anything like that, as you see this capacity crowd here at pace high. Lock up and a side headlock applied. Back to the wrist lock goes Scott. Steve tagged in now legally on the second rope. Double axe handle to the top of the head. Had little effect, I'm sure, on the hard noggin of Fatu. Armbar applied now. Classic tag team strategy being employed by the Armstrong brothers here. Fatu with a karate shot, it looked like, to the bridge of the nose. There's a headbutt. Kick to the breadbasket. And Fatu now opening things up on the Armstrongs, rake to the back. He's biting him on the head. Big turnaround here for Fatu. He was shaking hands with him a minute ago. Another hard shot to the face. Irish whip into the ropes. Leapfrog. Goes for another leapfrog. Steve turns it into an inverted atomic drop. Splash. Goes for the cover. Hooks the leg. But only a 2 count. Armbar applied once again by Steve Armstrong. Another look at this great crowd. Wait a minute. Oh, and a thrust kick. After Samu interjected himself in the match, putting the knee to the small of the back of Steve Armstrong. Scott now in the ring, but that's just distracting the official. Make a wish. Samu now. Steve Armstrong at his mercy. He has none. Big headbutt to the lower abdomen. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Coaxing Scott back into the ring as he pulls Steve Armstrong up by the hair. Knife edge chop sends him back down to the canvas. The Headshrinkers make it look easy in there. Classic Headshrinker double teaming in the corner. Just beating Armstrong down to the mat. Scott patiently waiting for his tag team partner to get over to the corner so he can make the tag and get the fresh man back into the ring. And another big headbutt by Fatu. Goes for the cover. Only a 2 count. Had he hooked the leg, he might have been able to get 3. They've really worn Steve Armstrong down, and an abdominal stretch applied now by Fatu. Steve Armstrong in a lot of pain. As Fatu looks like he's reaching back. Yes, he's getting extra leverage from his tag team partner. The Headshrinkers showing us exactly why they are 2-time former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. Carl Roach now asking Steve if he wants to give it up, as the Samoans once again getting that added extra leverage. And when Carl Roach turns around, it's like, we didn't do anything. Double thrust to the face by the Headshrinkers. They've pretty much got Steve Armstrong right where they want him now. A big headbutt by Samu. That one shook Steve up. Low blow. There's no call for that. And he shoots Armstrong over the top rope to the floor. I'm not sure if over the top rope is a disqualification in southern states. a school desk, it looked like, to the back of Steve Armstrong. But regardless of whether or not over the top rope is a DQ in Southern States, referee Carl Roach's back was turned. He didn't see it. So it's kind of a moot point. Carl Roach trying to put the count on Armstrong, but Samu interrupts. And Steve is back in the ring, much to his credit. Ramming the head of Steve Armstrong is Samu into the head of his tag team partner Fatu. Shot to the throat. And they are having their way. Standing drop kick. Beautiful move by such a huge man. Those Samoans have great agility. Irish whip into the corner, but nobody home. It looked like Samu may have cracked his head on the top of the steel ring post. This is Armstrong's chance, if he has one at all, to make the tag and get Scott inside the ring. He's got to do it now. Samu doesn't know which corner he's in. He really smacked the top of his noggin into that ring post. Between the legs goes Armstrong, makes the tag to Scott. In comes Fatu. Hard right hands. Irish whip to the opposite side. Reverse elbow. A right hand for Samu. A right hand for Fatu. He's on fire. Another right. He's going to ram the heads together. Bad idea. And a double headbutt by the Headshrinkers. That's like ramming two stones together. It's not going to do any good. They shoot Steve out of the ring. Watch this move. Face first to the canvas goes Scott Armstrong. This one could be all over. Samu is positioning his man, makes the tag, and it looks like Fatu's going up to the top rope. It's going to be the classic Headshrinker, the big splash. He's got the cover, but wait a minute, Scott's foot is on the bottom rope. Referee Carl Roach does not see it. He counts the 3 count. It looks like your winners are going to be the Headshrinkers by a pinfall. Unfortunately, Carl Roach did not see the foot of Scott Armstrong on the bottom rope. But wait a minute. Brother Brad is at ringside now. He wrestled earlier on the card. I think he's pointing out to Carl Roach that the foot was on the bottom rope. The Headshrinkers denying it. Carl Roach says, no. He's changing the decision, it looks like. Is the match going to continue? Brad now trying to get the fans involved, but it looked like Fatu KO'd Brad. The match is going to continue, it seems. Once again, the Samoans are going to drive the face of Scott Armstrong into the canvas. They're going to try it one more time. Wait a minute, what's Brad doing? Brad tripped up Fatu there. He straddles the top turnbuckle. Schoolboy roll by Scott. 1, 2. That's it, it's over. And the Armstrongs are going to be the winners of this match.